welcome back to the treehouse.
To the announcement tree.
This is where we make our announcements. Last time we were here, we were announcing that you were pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
You're still
now.
pregnant.
Still pregnant.
Not the announcement.
Not the announcement. And I'm still like regular pregnant. Like we have one child.
It's not twins. That's not what we're here to say.
And I showed that with 2 fingers. I went like that, but that means 1. But we have some pretty big news, like really big news. And I'm very excited about this and very nervous about it. I don't know how much we've talked with you guys about it, but it's something that's been like brewing in our minds for a long time and something that on different levels we've been considering, but over the last little over a year we've been like heavily considering. But we are getting want to say it together? Dog.
We're getting a dog.
Yay! We are getting a family dog, and we are getting it with the intention to train it as a service dog, which is a very, very, very big thing. We actually started thinking about this about a year ago because we were speaking with Luke's early interventionist, and she was suggesting that we get on a waiting list for a service dog, but she didn't know that much about the nuances of it. So I started investigating that, and that is heartbreakingly, not for us, but just like for everybody, very difficult to get, and especially without like massive amounts of money, or unless you're in a few different tiers of disabilities or needs. So for example, there are programs like Guide Dogs of America, which I believe you can get on a waiting list and get a free, I think, or at least partially covered guide dog. I don't know all of it, but you can do it that way. There are some ways. I just kind of made the assumption my whole life that like somebody with a service dog was getting it provided more for, like through
government or
through
like
insurance, through the government, through whatever. And what I discovered was that the majority of people really aren't, and that guide dogs often cost upwards of $20,000. There are also ways of getting on long wait lists that reduce the cost, sometimes eliminate the cost, not really typically. Anyway, so I went through all this like discovery and being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. One of my best friends also is a trainer for Guide Dogs of America. So like I have some ideas of what she does, and obviously her value, like what she does is worth upwards of $20,000.
It's amazing.
She's incredible. Yeah. Like, and she doesn't get paid for it either. Like that's not what I'm suggesting.
She's volunteering for it.
I'm just saying like, I understand why the development of a service dog is so expensive, just because it really does take a lot.
A lot of time and a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Like she's putting a lot of work into a dog currently, and it's like, it's amazing to watch it.
Yeah, it's incredible. And she's being trained by people who are putting time and effort into her training. The other thing about it is that she can do all of this for, I think it's 1.5 years, maybe, I think it's 2 years. And she does all of this, and even as a very, very, very trained professional with a lot of assistance, her dog may not pass the program. That's where we're getting in a little over our heads here, and we're very aware of this. If you're looking at us and saying, oh, really? Prego lady with a ton of children, you just think you're gonna casually train a service dog? Like, that's a really big deal. I get that there is a lot of like naivete going on. We'll see. Like, I wanna give myself and ourselves grace where this is something we want to do, we're hoping to do, we're really approaching it the best we possibly we can, but we also know that this might end up being a family dog and not necessarily officially a service dog, but that is our goal.
Jessica has been doing a lot of research for over a year on this topic, trying to figure out the type of breed that would work the best for this, the type because we have allergies to consider, all sorts of stuff, and what types of services the dog would be required to know how to do, and how all of that works out. And so we've decided to go down the route that we're going down,
which is training our own service dog. And we have found a dog, actually, finding the dog was kind of miraculous, because I knew from a lot of my search that we wanted a dog that could be as hypoallergenic as possible. This isn't something that necessarily is a guarantee, but we're trying here. And we knew that we wanted a dog that was very good with families, large families, and could potentially be trained very well. And so what I landed on was a golden doodle. So that was what I have been looking for. We also are hoping to train for some elements of mobility. And this is another complicated nuance, just that we don't know exactly what Luke's going to need. From what we know, we're thinking that there's a chance he's going to need some help with balance and some help with getting back up potentially when he falls. He's doing really well. He's walking, he's getting orthotics, but he also has a cerebellum that's a little different, and I haven't been able to find a lot of people that have a cerebellum like his, but when I do look up dogs and cats, because it's actually very common in some dogs and cats, you can look up cerebellar hypoplasia and see like dogs and cats who are navigating having this, and some of them look more extreme, I would say, than Luke, but you can see the similar movements. I feel like he's doing really well, but there's also a strong chance that for a while, and maybe always, he'll be navigating, having some balance issues and falling more often. So we're hoping to train a dog now so that when Luke's a little bigger and the dog's a little bigger, the dog will be able to be there for him physically. And
emotionally.
And emotionally, that's the other element of the service. We don't know everything about Luke, and we also don't want to share everything about Luke because it's also his personal journey. But we think that there might be a possibility he would need something called interrupted action. So we're going to be focusing on interrupted action cues and also some mobility stuff. And because of the mobility stuff, we needed to make sure that the dog was a size that was safe for the dog. So we didn't want to get too small of a service dog. We wanted to make sure it was somewhat of a standard size, but also not giant, because we're a little intimidated by that. But anyway, the point is, I've done massive amounts of research, and the kids too. They're really, really, really excited. We've been watching Rachel Fusaro on YouTube. We've been watching somebody named Dreamflight 6000, I think, on YouTube, and Jacob especially, he like loves her, he loves their family, and they both have golden doodles. We've just been watching a bunch of random other videos on YouTube. I've also signed up with this training program online called Baxter and Bella that I've been really impressed with. I don't know, we don't have the dog yet, so like this isn't like a get this no matter what, like I don't really know, but so far I'm like, yeah, I really like this program. This is really helping me. So I've been liking that. And then we're also connecting with Rachel's trainer, Joy, and we have a Zoom call with her before Puppy comes into our house. We're trying so hard to do this like the absolute best that we can. And finding this dog has been a journey. It's been really hard, but I kind of miraculously stumbled upon a family in Utah who had the same need as us, and they trained a service dog for their child, and that service dog has fathered 2 litters, and our dog is coming from this service dog's 2nd litter. And the first litter that it had, actually all the puppies went on to train to be service dogs for families as well. This family, I don't even really want to call them like breeders, like I don't know when you elevate into level of breeder, but they're a family who has a heart for this and has had a need and experience with it, and they seem like a really perfect connection for us. So our dog is flying from Utah to us in less than 2 weeks. Honestly, like I'm feeling like I'm very vulnerable in all of this. Like we know that it's new. We know that this isn't something we've done before. Like we're not necessarily good at it. Like we're so used to being good at things, right?
I don't feel like I'm good at anything. I just like
I know, I'm joking. But I mean, like, we parented and it's like, okay, we'll parent another kid, and like there are always things that throw you off and things that are new, but like honestly learning about dogs as much as I have been, I'm like, wow, I know nothing, you know?
Yeah, I've had a lot of dogs throughout my life,
yes,
and I worked at a pet store, but I've never been the dad of a family with a dog, and that I feel like that's a completely different dynamic. Like that's a new thing.
Our kids are very excited about this as well. Especially the older ones are learning a ton about how they can also be a supportive family member for the doggy. I don't know, my heart is like 100% on my sleeve in this. Like I feel very vulnerable. I just want to kind of like ask or like beg all of you to please be just like really supportive in this for us. And if you have advice, like we need advice, we'd love to hear it. We just also request that you do it in a very loving way. As I said, like I feel very vulnerable about all of this, and I want to share our journey because I have been so helped by seeing other people's journeys in this. Like I think I've watched more YouTube than I maybe ever have before. I like Jacob and I especially, we sit there and we watch so many YouTube videos on like people bringing their golden doodle puppies home and people training their puppies. And I really want to share that with other families who are kind of in the same situation we are. But I know my heart, and I know I will have a hard time if I see a lot of things that make me feel sad. Like I'll probably just shut down. So please just be really, 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 really supportive. we admit that we're new at this. We admit that we don't know what we're doing, but
We also
we're
are
trying.
we're also saying right now, we are going to do our best.
We're gonna do our best.
Yes.
We're working, like, that is where our heart is. We're also going to mess up things. So like and also there are different viewpoints on how you do animals and dogs and everything. If you are compelled to comment or something, don't argue with people, like have discussions, share your knowledge, but know that also like people do things differently. There are different dynamics with bringing an animal into any home, and we're really excited. Really excited too. Like Luke's still, like, every time he goes to the park, every time he does anything, it's dog.
Yeah, he's just pointing at dogs constantly.
And I'm hopeful that this will be really, really, really good for him and really good for all the other kids in our family as well, because they've always wanted a dog, and we've always been like, I don't know.
I've probably been the most vocal, like, no dog. But now I feel like it's the right time. Like that's I wanted to say that because like I feel like we aren't doing this just sort of like, let's have a dog now. You know what I mean? It is something that we've been discussing and talking about for years.
Decades, really.
Decades.
Decades. That's how long we've been together.
Yeah, over a decade we've been talking about this.
Well, because how long? We've been together for over 20 years. And
Decades.
We've been married. I know, because in high school, we used to really like English bulldogs when we were in high school. And we'd be like, oh, English bulldogs. But we never got one.
No. So this is something we're not taking lightly. We're like very much trying to be intentional with it, and
we've talked about it.
And we're excited about it.
Yeah.
Like, I know I've said no dog for a long time, but after seeing that Luke could really benefit from one, and I think our whole family could really benefit, and the dog will benefit from us. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like we can give this dog a really good home. So
yeah, our home is really well equipped. We've been taking walks every single day around our neighborhood, like dogless. We've been getting like in the habit and trying to be very ready. Our home is fully fenced in. We have space in our, we call it our fireplace room, like kind of where we do Christmas, and
it's like a den.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's adjacent to where the dog will be going outside to potty and being trained for potty stuff. And actually, you know what else is a really big news for us? Faith has been living with us since, what would you say, like November of last year. She left around Christmas because she wanted to be with family through the holidays and her birthday and stuff. And then she came back, and she has a room in our house, and she lives in our house. And then she also works in a COVID-safe job part-time, but she's actually quitting her job. She did quit her job. She's done. But we haven't had her like full-time yet. She'll have a couple days off a week and like that sort of thing, but she'll be full-time for us, which is really, really cool. And she's really more part of our family than anything else. Like, we all hang out together and like do dinner together, but we have an extra adult pair of hands, and it helps when I'm homeschooling one of the kids and then Faith can have Luke, or like we're being in a treehouse, and then Faith's downstairs with Luke and Duncan right now, and Bailey, Jacob, and Parker are all on an online class right now. So they're just little things that it's been really helpful to have her around with, and usually that's weekends and then some evenings. And now it's gonna be, we don't know, more full-time 5 days a week, but she doesn't have a schedule or anything like that. Like, we just know that there are 2 days where we say, kids, Faith, stay off. Leave her alone. So we're going to have another person around helping us and helping love on the dog. And I have my friend who trains a guide dog, and I'm really hoping that at the very least we have an amazing new family member and companion, and really in the ideal place we would also have a service dog that could help Luke as his needs progress in life. And you know what's been amazing, actually? Like, already this side benefit is that the kids have been wanting a dog forever. And I am pregnant and nesting, and I've been through my past several pregnancies, nesting periods, going like I kind of like, I like stare at things and I'm annoyed at them, but like I try to clean them, and there's so many other people, like sometimes they get messed up again, or like sometimes it's something that's beyond my strength or ability in the moment. So I'm like, Christopher, please do that thing, please do that thing. And he's like, I can't do everything. And this time around, everybody else is nesting for the dog. So they're like super motivated and it's been amazing. Like we've been bamming out rooms and like just getting everything ready, and it's been really fun to kind of me have my nesting instinct and then also have like Jacob, my little buddy, being like, yeah, we can get rid of this. And it's like, okay, yeah, you guys like this toy, but like toy, or do you think the dog should play in this room? And they're like, dog. and we're able to move on from certain things that the kids were like wanting to hold on to, but they weren't really using. That's been our main thing, is like puppy proofing the house right now. We're trying to make it really safe, trying to make a plan for where the puppy will initially live and do its beginning development stuff and beginning training things. So that's what we've been doing lately. It's been a lot, but it's been really fun and exciting. Like, I don't know. It's been a lot of fun having other people nesting with me.
So that's our announcement. That's what's happening. That's what we're getting, a dog. That's what we're getting. You'll be meeting the dog very soon.
Puppy, technically.
Yeah.
She'll be about 10 weeks old.
So you'll be meeting her very soon, and
it's a girl.
It's a girl.
We should have done like a gender reveal
For the dog. The dog gender. Just pink bones falling from the sky or something.
No, just giant explosions. Did you hear about that recently?
No,
Somebody,
I don't.
Like,
I can't.
They like blew up a city.
No,
I
don't
don't
blow
know.
up cities, guys. No. Crack an egg. Just do that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.